This week's discussion about how families react to disability is particularly poignant for rehab counselors. We need to realize that our positive and negative attributes, our fears, attitudes, and beliefs about ourselves, our society, and the world often begin in the family unit. This is true whether we have a disability or not. So, to understand our clients from their frame of reference means that we also need to understand their family's reactions to their disability and how their ongoing support and guidance, or lack thereof, affect clients. As we recently learned, there are many models of disability, as well as models describing the family's adjustment to disability. Our group discussed that families have cultural biases and beliefs, and that particularly the older generations are tough to change. Despite our urging, many may hold onto outdated social and cultural mores. In looking at the family's adjustment to disability, our group also discussed that the divorce rate is higher among people with disabilities, and that spouses often need counseling to adjust to changes they didn't anticipate when a spouse or significant other is diagnosed with a disability. We use the analogy of the flight attendant who tells us to put our own oxygen mask on first before we help others. Families and significant others can feel shock, denial, sadness, mourning, and depression. They may have feelings of being overwhelmed physically, mentally, and emotionally, as well as feeling financially overburdened by caring for the family member with a disability. And we all agreed an important issue to remember is the individual or the families may go through some of these adjustment stages again at different times in their lives. As we work with clients with aging parents, families, and caregivers, we must also consider how their passing will affect our clients. Personally, I fear my death not because of my own mortality, but for my son with a disability. Many aging parents have this same real fear. These emotions can stir up feelings of sadness and fear of the unknown for our now adult children with disabilities. We talked about how we as professionals may be judgmental at times with some families, but we need to remain cognizant of all the factors, including the family's educational and socioeconomic level, their culture, race, religion, and spirituality, just to name a few. In fact, some cultures and religions view disability as a curse or resulting from sins from past generations. An important area of discussion is the area of respite for families. As counselors, we may be able to positively impact the family's adjustment by assisting them with resources for respite. Sometimes families won't ask or may feel guilty when they need respite. Families may just need a break to regroup or to strengthen family or marital bonds, which may have been altered as a result of the family member with the disability. We are all aware of occurrences of elder abuse and abuse of children with disabilities. Families were not taught coping strategies to handle a family member with a disability. I also think it's our responsibility to provide families resources for individual and family counseling to assist them through the adjustment process. Caregiver burnout is real and occurs with the extra burden of caring for a family member with a disability. Family members are often diagnosed with depression and anxiety disorders, hypertension, and other physical and emotional illnesses as a result of the stress of being a caregiver. Although we may not think about this issue, however, caregivers often precede the person with the disability in death. As the cost of health care rises, families may not take advantage of counseling to help them in their adjustment process. In the end, we want our clients to be well adjusted and for their families to be supportive of them. As our group discussed, there are many stages that families will go through as they adjust. We discussed the adjustment process may vary based on whether the person with a disability is a child, a parent, or a spouse, and whether the disability is congenital or acquired, progressive or stable, mild or severe. In my professional and personal experience, it is my opinion that there are additional feelings of guilt or anger if the disability is the result of a self-inflicted injury or if it is hereditary. Several people also discussed that lives can be enriched with stronger family bonds, with greater empathy towards others, and a more positive outlook than what was first thought and believed in the early days, weeks, and months following a disability. Lastly, many organizations and nonprofit groups have been started by family members who have someone in their family with a disability. Families become advocates for disability legislation and human rights, and for an array of services and benefits, not only for their own family member, but for all people with disabilities. It's my hope that after families go through the adjustment process, they may also be able to pay it forward to other families in need.